Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the Metaphysical Toolkit of the Yin and Yang of Business. Hi, my name is Kathleen Horvath-Zemansky, and I have a very special guest with me today. I would like to introduce my assistant. Her name is Alice Nguyen. And Alice, why don't you just come on and say a few words about how long you've been working, we've been working together, and some of the things that we're kind of creating. Like, let's just kind of let people
Okay.
know who you are.
Hi, my name is Alice Ling, and I've been working with Kathleen. I think this is going on 5 years,
At least, yeah.
maybe,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's been a while.
Time is flying.
um, yeah, and some of the things that we've been working on over here at Five Elements Group, as you hear Kathleen say all the time, person, space, time, and universe. So we do business astrology, which we have a very cool calculator on that. And we'll show you the link in a little bit to download your own chart. We also do business feng shui to help you with the spacing of your dwelling, office, and living spaces to tap into the vibrant energies of the year to help you achieve your goals. And then we also do favorable timing with the TimeBlazr, which Kathleen created, and we've now digitalized it so it is. Um, and I'm gonna bring it back over to Kathleen on what we're gonna be talking about today. I believe we'll be doing a lot of Q&A and some other good and interesting tidbits.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Alice. Alice and I, we just went down to Silicon Valley. What was it, about 2 weeks ago? And
About 2 weeks. Yeah.
was it last week? Or the week
2 weeks.
before? 2 weeks. Yeah, I was just like,
Yeah,
whoa.
2 weeks.
It's like, wow, that time is going by a little bit too fast. But yeah, we went down to Silicon Valley. We were checking on a couple of projects that we worked on, pre the shutdown, and these are pretty big Silicon Valley titans that we're working with, as well
Mhm.
as we have a new project that we're going to be just starting up here. Looks like probably next week, but we also love to work with people just like you, people that are small businesses that specifically are, probably the solopreneur or have a small team like myself, but you have a mighty big idea. And so we have what we believe are the toolkit that really transcends your business plan and your marketing plan, that there's so many things that you probably have realized if you weren't doing them before the lockdown that you are doing now, like working from a remote space, as well as using a lot of the online tools that are out there. So what we're going to help you do is we're going to help you with things like if you're going to be launching a product, a program, a service, a website, you got a book coming out, all of those kinds of things would be really wise for you to start thinking about what else can you do to boost that energy. So today, what we've decided to do is start doing a Q&A. We get frequently asked
Mhm.
questions all the time, and
Mhm.
so we just decided that we were gonna start just kind of down the line of some of the things that have been coming in. So Alice, I'll let you read the question, and if you have any input on it, go ahead, and then otherwise
Okay.
I'll give you my
Sure.
2 cents as
Yeah.
well.
So since we've been doing introductory things for this new series, um, we do Q&A every Fridays. So make sure you follow along, and you can comment anytime on any of these videos with your questions, and we'll be sure to get to them for Friday Q&A sessions. So the first question we're going to answer today is from Antoine. Amsterdam. And she says, "Hi, Kathleen. You talk a lot about the animals in astrology, but where can I find the effect of the animals? That would be very helpful."
Okay, that's a great question, and what I'm going to really actually ask you to do, for those of you who are interested in the business astrology piece of it, which I hope you are, because that really is the starting point. The starting point is really finding out what's in your chart, so you know what is trending right now for you, as well as how can you play your strengths and know your weaknesses, but know how to handle those weaknesses, right? So, I put a lot of emphasis on the annual energies. We're in presently in the year of the metal ox, and how any one of your animals are going to be looked at throughout the year. So your chart is actually quite dynamic of the energies of the year as well as energies of the month. Truthfully, every day has a new animal that arrives, and how does that affect you? So what I would suggest for you to do, because I do talk extensively about the animals, what I would encourage you to do is go back and listen to some of the playlists that we already have created. And Alice, you probably know the names better than I do. What were some of the
Sure,
names of
we
the
have the
playlists?
latest one was our Stimulate Your Business, and you'll look at the astrology portion of it. Another good playlist is the 2021 Animal Forecast. That is another one where it's taken from Kathleen's annual event earlier in the year, where she talks about each animal. So each video is about each animal. And I would start there.
Yeah, perfect. And really that's the thing is, you are more than your year of birth. A lot of times people will tell me, well, I was born in the year of the horse, or I was born in the year of the dragon. Well, that is just telling you one small piece of a incredible blueprint that can help you literally plan out and map out your life. So
Mm-hmm.
knowledge is power here. Knowledge is power here. So go ahead and download your chart. What I would also suggest you do is download the charts of anyone that you are surrounded by, whether it be people that you're living with, working with, your suppliers, your clients. It's a free tool that we give away to you, and just kind of have that understanding of what's going on in their life. That's one of the best communication tools out there. So that would be
Mm-hmm.
something that I would suggest that you do. All right,
Oh, and
here's
I'll also link this, the link in the bottom in the description, for you to just click on that. And I'm gonna go back and also let you know that I was one of those people who grew up, and I just knew that my year of birth was that I was a rooster. I'm a rooster. That's my year. And I didn't know about the other animals until I started working with Kathleen, which I have three other animals for hour, day, and month also, in addition to that. So
yeah.
just wanted to add that. Yeah.
We look at it from a business perspective, but obviously you can look at a birth chart for personal reasons, for health reasons, relationship reasons, your ancestry, your children if you have them, your goals and things like that. So it's pretty broad on what the information is available for you to, and it's your birthright to know it. You were born under this auspicious energies, and I think everyone
Mm-hmm.
has an auspicious chart. You just need to unlock it. If
Mm-hmm.
you go with, oh, it's just a clash for this month, or that's putting your head in the sand. That is not ever a strategy I'm ever going to tell you to do. Now, I may tell you, have a little bit more lower profile at a certain time of your year or month, or but that doesn't mean that I'm saying don't do anything. This might be, if it is a month where you need to pull back just a little bit, it might be a month that you do some research, or, do massive, content creation. It just may not be a month that you just get out online or something like that. So if you go with the flow will be a lot easier. Otherwise, you might be, I don't know if you've ever seen a salmon swim upstream. It's
Mm-hmm.
quite strenuous, and you know what? At the end, after the spring season happens with new fishies around, they die. We don't want you to do that. We want you to flow with it instead of against it. So
Mm-hmm.
anyway, that's where we'll leave it at that. All right.
Okay.
So let's. Did you have anything else, Alice, for that?
Oh no, that's it. We can go on to the next question.
All right. Here's our
Um,
next question.
so this one's from Eleanor. It's from, I believe this is from our Stimulate Your Business series, but it's a good one. So she asked, "Hi Kathleen, I wonder whether there is a good type of time blazer day. on which we should change our passwords, please.
Okay. All right. So, really, I think the best way to look at that is to head on over to the TimeBlazr. I'll bring you back in just a second, Alice. Is when you're looking at the TimeBlazr, and you can have free 30-day access to this as well, and
Yeah,
it's
it'll be linked at
personalized.
the bottom in the description. Yeah.
Perfect. Is, look for days that are more of these green days. And we're right here on this first day of the dog month. And I'm going to talk about that as well. But really, what I would say is if you can find a good remove day, so on the 18th of this month would be a good day to change those passwords. Another good opportunity for me would be to suggest to you to use a success day. So you could use the 13th or the 25th, or a stable day, which would be tomorrow on the 9th. Those would be my choices of changing the password. So you're removing something and then you're putting something in its place. So you're making space. So that's how I would definitely look at your password. Changing those passwords, and it's a really smart idea. I can tell you, uh, astrologically, but also common sense wise, you're going to start seeing more and more identity theft and fraud and things like that. So really get in the routine of changing your passwords on a regular basis, because otherwise it can get you in a little bit of a trouble. So that would be my suggestion on where to do that. Now, while I'm on this slide, I'm going to just change topics just very, very quickly. We are in a very, very, very opportune time, especially starting today. If you're listening to this live, it is the Yang Earth Dog Month, and this is a month where we want to literally release and let go of things that are not serving you. The reason I'm telling you this, it is it is your opportunity to have an exciting and profitable, successful 2022. So this is where we need to do a little bit of the work now. So here's what I would suggest that you do. Make a list and have it ready for next week, because we'll be working on this all month long, but we're really going to be looking at trying to release things that are not serving us anymore. And the first step is awareness. So start writing down, and I would say, let's start writing down the last 12 years of your life. Literally. Just take out a piece of paper and write 2021. What happened do you want to release in that? 2020, and what do you want to release on that? And go back 12 years. That is your big opportunity for this month, quite frankly, also the month of November, December, and January. But this is the critical starting point. Do not ignore this if you really want to change your life. This is where, unless you want to repeat the same bad habits, we want to keep the good ones. We don't want to karmically continue to do things that are going to get in our way. All right, I'll leave it at that. We'll talk more about that next week. All right, here's one that has been quite a bit in the news. So let's talk about this. And this is coming from one of
Okay.
our clients.
Yeah, so one of our clients asked, hello, does it show anywhere in the charts about the craziness that is happening today? Today was Monday, was when Facebook shut down. Um,
Okay. So, as we know, that affected quite a few people. And for those of you who maybe are not on just mainstream media, that, not only did Facebook shut down, and what the answer is in, I would say, in the respect as far as what they're putting out as far as news bites, is that it was a technical issue is why it went down. But you may also know that there is a what is called a whistleblower. So someone has taken quite a few pieces of documentation and has accused Facebook of malpractices, that they are doing addictive behaviors, especially on Facebook and Instagram. And they're also feeding sort of this misinformation that they knew with the algorithms that they could make more money. Now, that's the whistleblower side of it. Facebook side of it and their representatives. I actually haven't heard from Mark. I've heard from his spokespeople that they are actually putting things into place, and they have been putting into place. So you can be on either side of the table on that. But let's look at it from Mark's chart and astrologically what was happening that day. So the thing that I also can say about before we do go on to looking at that chart, we are in what is called Mercury retrograde. Now, Mercury retrograde is truthfully a Western astrology aspect. It is not considered Chinese astrology, although I have my take on what it can mean in your chart as far as that's concerned. So what I'm going to say first, let me just talk about the Mercury retrograde because this has been a frequently asked question as well. So within a year period, all of us are going to go through with the four animals that up to four animals in your chart, which is year, month, day, and hour. Now, some of you may have double animals, triple animals, and I've actually seen one chart in my life where one person had all four of the animals the same. Most people will have four different ones, up to maybe two of the same in their chart. All right, that is one piece. Then the other piece is that every year, month, even day, or you can even go down to distill it down to the hours, there are things in the Chinese astrology construct that are called combinations, three harmonies, and those are the good ones. When you get those, usually you have better flow in your life. Then we have things like punishments, which that's something we usually do to ourselves, or we self-sabotage ourselves. Destructions mean things are going to be taken down to the just down to the ground, if you will, and you need to reboot something. That would be the best thing that you can do. And then there are clashes, which means you're going to lose something, but you can again replace it if you think ahead on these things. And then there's something that's called a harm. A harm is more emotional, if you will, and you really feel hurt by something. That something was said. It's sort of a backstabbing kind of energetics. It's not fun. It's not fun. So we go through these different phases every single year. Every single month, there's going to be something dynamically that's going to be changing in your chart. So what I would really be watching out for are, what are the harms of your chart? And that in itself is a whole series of just talking about that. But it suffice to say that when these do come into your life, then it's almost like your own personal retrograde. So when when those are, you can modify your behavior, because you know what? A lot of times people will have, and for those of you who do not know what Mercury retrograde is, and again, I'm more of a Eastern astrologer than Western, but basically the planets are misaligned, and then we've got some confusion. And where the confusion can happen is technological, like you don't actually want to purchase a car or a computer during this time because it's put together with kind of misinformation, if you will. And so they do talk about um, you know you know mechanical things or digital things that are produced during that time frame actually have little bugs in them and they don't work exactly, or you need to do things over. Communication is garbled. So travel, it's not a great idea to travel. But where I see Mercury retrograde being helpful is it's a time to go within. So if you try to go too outward, you can have problems. But when you go more within, as in do your inner work, That's where Mercury retrograde. It also helps you to be very creative. So it's not always bad, although it does get a bad rap. But with that said, I think that a lot of what happened last week had to do with two external factors. One being the whistleblower did not help Facebook or Mark Zuckerberg's reputation. And number two, we have this energetic outside force of Mercury retrograde. So let's look at what happened on that day. Do you have anything to add to that before we go over there?
No, not at all.
All right, let's have a look at that real quick. All right, so here is that particular day. So this is a day out of the TimeBlazr technology. And so as we can see, it was an unfavorable day and it was a rooster day. Now, first of all, on this particular, day, we have to look at how does that affect the chart, right? So the first thing that I do see is that one, he actually has a half triple harmony, if you will, or a third of the triple, 2/3 of the triple harmony, because one, it is on October the 4th, it's still the rooster month. Remember, today, if you're listening to this live, on the 8th of October is when the dog energy comes in. So we have one rooster with the month, then we have a second rooster with the day, and Mark is in this particular luck cycle, which is a rooster. Now we only want to see in any one's chart, we only want to see one rooster. Why? Think about when you put two roosters together into a pen, what will they do? They will just like peck at each other and claw at each other, and they will fight to the death. Well, now we have three. We have a rooster in this current destiny cycle, rooster of the day, and the rooster of the month. Those are three roosters that are affecting. And this is what's called self-sabotaging energy. Not so great. So there were things that were probably happening because the whole whistleblower thing as well, that was a lot of time in the making, but in the last couple of weeks before that was released, that was all in the rooster month. So that was not helping the situation at all. In addition, with the rooster, there's a harm with the rat. So that's about reputation and things like that. So that is what was being affected. Definitely the reputation got affected by users of Facebook, and there's a lot of backlash. There was a lot of money lost that was there, so it harmed the bottom line, as well as there was probably a lot of flared tempers that were happening, I guess. Let's put it that way. So that's what I see what was going on. Now we know that what was the time, Alice, that we know that it kind of went down here on the West Coast or East Coast? Let's go with West Coast, since we are on the West Coast right now.
Just give me a second to
I
get
think
that up.
I think it was around 11 o'clock is what you had
I
told
think it
me.
was 11:40 a.m. Eastern. So
Oh,
then
okay.
that's
11:40
2:40 p.m. our time,
is what?
Western time.
No, we're actually behind, so it would have been
Oh,
earlier.
so it was a lot earlier.
Yeah, so it was probably this 9 to 11 or
Yeah.
even 8, but either way, what we have here is if it is, especially if it was the snake hour, it was counterproductive and pettiness, and so it was all kind of negative energy. But if it was the dragon, truthfully, the dragon would have created a triple harmony with the rat, the monkey, and the dragon, which brings more water, which is more wealth to Mark, although he doesn't need any more. When you have too much, when this is completely full like this, it's actually not advantageous. So, but it was a tough day. It was a tough day. And as if you can see, under the negative influences, which we must look at, It was bad move. There was pettiness, potential disasters, strings attached, and volumin. It was just like pile on, pile on, pile on of this negative energy. So, will Facebook recover? I'm sure it will, but things are going to need to change because of it. And I think that is maybe the lesson for all of us is when we start looking at, our own charts, what we're planning on doing, when we weave in the looking at definitely the feng shui of the space, which I know feng shui has been done. I don't know officially, but um, you know, we in the community of feng shui masters, we definitely have studied, you know, successful businesses, and so we have studied Facebook, and so we know, and I've heard and read that he has had his own residence done with feng shui, so he is doing some very good things. But you know what? There are, it's a very big operation, and we do make mistakes. One of the things that can happen with when you have one of those animals, those self-sabotaging animals, then that very much comes into play, that it was maybe things that could have been corrected beforehand. So that's really the thing that I want to leave with people is there's many aspects that we need to be looking at. And so when I say person, space, time, and universe, it really is a smart idea to be looking at that in a way that we can help help yourself lift yourself up to your highest level. So Alice, I think that's what we're gonna wrap it up for today. Next week, what we're gonna follow the same format as this week. We're gonna start out with astrology on Monday. We'll do the feng shui on Tuesday, TimeBlazr on Wednesday. We'll do Universal Gateway on Thursday. And then I do want to let you know that we'll be back here. Alice and I will be back here on Friday. Oh, no, you're not. You're going to be, no, it's the 15th next week. You'll
Yeah,
be here next week.
I'll be here.
Yeah. So there's, due to travel and things like that, mostly we'll be doing this format. But anyway, so I will see you next week. Have an amazing weekend. Alice, got anything that you want to close us out with?
Just that if you guys have any questions, any time of the week, just enter them down in the comments below, because we will be collecting them to answer on our Q&A Fridays. All right, and I wish you guys have a happy and safe weekend, and we'll see you next week.
Yep. And I want you to subscribe, like, share, and comment. We would so appreciate that. Let us know your questions, okay? See ya. Have a great weekend.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.